The Fifth Amendment. We were playing our game last night at the hospitality thing. We had a wheel. You know, people would spin the dial, and it would come up on 5, and everybody would just go, oh. And everybody knows I have a right not to incriminate myself. I can keep my mouth shut. Well, that means that you've gotten all of your information about the Bill of Rights from Law and Order. You have a right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. Yeah. That is not the Fifth Amendment. The Fifth Amendment is the largest, longest of the amendments, 187 words, and it's filled with lots and lots of good information. Fifth Amendment says, no person shall be held to answer for any capital or otherwise infamous crime. They can't put you in jail unless on presentment or indictment by a grand jury. We think that you've committed murder. I'm like 98% certain that you've committed murder. But can I put you in handcuffs? Can I take you to jail? Not yet. I need a grand jury indictment, or a presentment means we physically bring you in front of the grand jury, which I don't think that happens very much. It might. But if you watch Law and Order, frequently they'll have the corrupt businessman, and they come in and they're asking him about the murder, and you know, because you watched the very beginning part during the trailer, that the guy committed murder. So you know that he did, and the police officers think that he did, but they're there in the office and going, well, we think, you know, and he's going, yeah, you know, you got nothing. If you had anything, you'd be taking me off to jail right now, but you got nothing. And the police officer says, before I, die, I'm going to see you in jail, that kind of thing. And so you go through the movie, and they're collecting the evidence, and they always do the DNA test, and 15 minutes later, they get the results back, right? And they finally, at the end of the movie, they go in because now they have the grand jury indictment. And the guy is usually in front of a big business meeting about to, make $1 million deal, and they walk in and they handcuff him and walk him out, and oh my gosh, it's all embarrassing. Why did they handcuff him at the beginning? Because there was no indictment. The grand jury is made of we the people. Before you can put somebody in jail, no person shall be held to answer for a capital or otherwise infamous crime until you go to the grand jury and you give the grand jury a sub-box of evidence. It doesn't prove that you're guilty. It doesn't prove that you did it, but it gives enough evidence where this is worth a try. We're going to look into this. This is suspicious enough that we're going to pull people together and go in and do some more search warrants. So they can't hold you until that time. Now, is that for everybody? No. Unless on presentment or indictment by a grand jury, except in cases arising in the land or naval forces or in the militia when in actual time of war or public danger. If you're in the military, if you're a soldier or a sailor and you do something bad, do you go to court? Where do you go?
Court-martial.
Court-martial. Civilians and military are viewed differently. Military, we give you guns. We're training you how to kill people. And so the rules are going to be different. If you're a civilian, you have to have an indictment by the grand jury. If you're a sailor or a soldier or in the militia pretending to be a soldier, then we go and put you in a court-martial, which is all based under admiralty law. The Uniform Code of Military Justice. It's a different set of rules.
Is the military all the time and the militias only in time of war?
Yes.
Because we're all in the militia, so.
We are all in the militia, and the militia is only in time of war. Now, in my 8-hour class, I go into how long we're supposed to have the military. Article 1, Section 8, Clause 13 says that you can raise money for an army, but no appropriation for that use shall be for a term longer than 2 years. So that's just food for thought. You know, come and take my Constitution class and we'll talk about that some more. But the point is that you've got different rules of justice. So then the Fifth Amendment starts to get, you know, interesting. You are protected against double jeopardy. You cannot be held for the same crime twice. Once the court finds you innocent, we can't take you back for that same crime. Because if I could, let's say I accuse you, we go to court, and it costs you $10,000 to defend yourself. And the jury finds you innocent. And I'm just really frustrated. So I take you to court again. It takes you another $10,000 to defend yourself. And you're innocent, and I take you back, and you're innocent a third time, a fourth time, a fifth time. You're out $50,000. And you're still innocent. The whole idea is that we're going to do it right once. And then, you know, if, you know, you're not going to be able to be taken to court for that same crime. Now, if we take you to court accused of murdering George and you are innocent, that doesn't mean that you can go out and just arbitrarily kill people because you've already been tried of murder and no, we accused you of murdering George. You know, if somebody else accuses you of murdering Sam, we can take you to court for that. That's a different crime.
What about federal income taxes?
Well, we can get into that. That's the 16th Amendment, and we're only going up to 10.
Next class.
But I think it refers, it's the long way, to the Second Amendment. And also the Fourth Amendment. So the Fifth Amendment says that you can't do double jeopardy. Then we get to the statement that says, nor be compelled to be a witness against himself in any capital, I forget, there's a clause there we're talking about capital crimes. But you don't have to, you may be guilty, you did it, but you don't have to help. You don't have to confess. Now, on all these television shows where they say, you know, they read you your rights, that's the Miranda. They say that you're Mirandizing somebody because in 1967, I think, there was this Mexican guy who confessed. And then they said, well, he didn't know that he didn't have to. And he got off. He was guilty. He did it. But they dropped the case because he didn't know. And so to prevent that from happening anymore, now we make sure that you know. We tell you that you have a right to remain silent. You know, just in case you didn't know. But if the government has to read you your rights, you haven't been studying hard enough. You need to have the Bill of Rights memorized. When I get stopped, no, you don't have to read me my rights. I know my rights much better than you do. And within usually half an hour, they know that. And suddenly they're very, very afraid.